The crew of National Airlines Flight 102 is flying cargo in a converted Boeing 747. They're on the last leg of a grueling shift. After flying from Châteauroux, France to Camp Bastion, where they loaded 207,000 pounds of cargo, it was a quick hop to Bagram. Once the plane is refueled, they'll fly 2.5 hours to Dubai. Captain Brad Hassler is heading home to his pregnant wife. Beside him is First Officer Jamie Brokaw. Augment Captain Jeremy Lipka is in the jump seat. In a cabin behind the cockpit is Loadmaster Michael Sheets, along with 3 other crew members. The Loadmaster is double-checking that the flight cargo is properly stowed and ready for the flight. At 3:25 p.m., the flight crew are cleared for takeoff. At that same moment, military journalist Stephen Hartoff is returning to the base from a day's work taking photographs for a magazine.
B1, rotate.
What's going on with that aircraft?
The plane is suddenly uncontrollable.
Get the nose down!
I'm trying!
The nose won't drop.
My airplane!
If they can't get the nose down fast, the plane will stall. For a moment, they hang in the air, suspended.
Stop the car.
A 747 cargo plane falls from Afghan skies. National Airlines Flight 102 is obliterated. It's the worst aviation accident ever at Bagram Airfield. Remarkably, no one on the ground is hit, but the entire flight crew is dead. The NTSB is assigned to lead the investigation. The NTSB will have to work closely with the military. A sweep of the crash site has already turned up the black boxes, but there's not much else for investigators to work with. Except for the tail section, much of the plane has been consumed by the inferno. Soon after the team starts sifting through the wreckage, a video of the accident appears on the internet.
Holy cow. There it is.
It reveals a huge clue about the plane's erratic climb and fall. The aircraft's movement in the video suggests the flight may have been out of balance. By examining the cargo manifest, investigators discover that the plane was carrying an unusual load. 5 armored vehicles called MRAPs, or mine-resistant ambush-protected vehicles. These massive, heavily armed cars each weigh between 12 and 18 tons. Each vehicle was chained to a custom-built pallet and secured with straps to the plane's main deck by the loading crew. Investigators calculate the precise weight carried on board. They learn that with the heavy cargo and fuel load, the plane was not overweight.
Weight was definitely not an issue.
But it's not just the onboard weight that investigators need to analyze. The balance of the load could be the problem. After a few calculations, the investigators have their answer. It's a dead end. Investigators explore another angle. Even if the load was balanced before takeoff, it could have shifted as the plane left the ground. The focus now turns to the loading procedures. Specifically, were the MRAPs properly secured by the loadmaster and his crew? Investigators study the manual the loadmaster used to calculate how many heavy nylon straps are needed to secure the vehicles. But it adds yet more mystery to the investigation. If the plane was underweight, with the cargo secured and balanced in line with company standards, what else could possibly have caused the crash? Desperate for a new theory, the investigators hope the data retrieved from the 747's black boxes will shed some light on the horrific crash. But the team is hit with another problem. The cockpit voice recorder stopped recording mere seconds after takeoff. Fortunately, it was recording during the crew's hour-long wait on the tarmac. The CVR suggests the first officer found a broken strap inside the cargo hold.
Holy crap, one of those things actually moved?
Investigators now wonder whether the loadmaster properly tied down the MRAPs.
How far to move? A couple inches?
Yeah, they just moved a couple inches because it's nylon, you know?
They have no idea how serious this really is.
The discovery changes the face of the investigation. Did the MRAPs shift after takeoff,
Get the nose down!
I'm trying!
throwing the 747 dangerously out of balance? Searching for evidence that the cargo of National Airlines Flight 102 shifted on takeoff,
Take a look at this.
investigators look more closely at the wreckage from the rear of the aircraft. The metal antenna box from the rear of the same MRAP provides another big clue. Orange paint on the box comes from the flight recorders. The flight recorders are located at the rear of the plane. To hit them, the MRAP would have had to shift at least 12 feet. That's exactly the same height as the metal antenna box from the rear of the MRAP. Could the shifting cargo bring down a huge 747? To find out, investigators take another look at the few pieces of salvaged wreckage they have, including the horizontal stabilizer from the rear of the plane. The horizontal stabilizer is a large control surface that adjusts the pitch of the plane during flight. It's controlled by a jack screw, which lowers and raises the edge of the stabilizer in response to the pilot's commands. Without the jack screw, pilots would have had no control of the horizontal stabilizer and therefore no ability to balance the jet. The question now is, did the jack screw snap before or during the crash? Closer analysis reveals it snapped in the opposite direction than if it were broken in the crash. Investigators wonder what could have caused the jack screw to snap off. They take some careful measurements and make a vital discovery. The results point to a clear suspect, and based on this new evidence, investigators finally have a theory to prove. As the jet began its takeoff roll, the weight of the vehicle strains the nylon strap. An 18-ton MRAP comes loose and hurtles to the back of the plane. It smashes the rear jack screw, destroying the pilot's control of the horizontal stabilizer, making the plane impossible to fly. In the wake of the accident, the NTSB recommends mandatory certification of all cargo handling personnel, a move that would standardize their procedures, training, and workloads.